morning, Nigeria's manufacturing data coming through from the Central Bank of Nigeria showing a slowdown to 57.3 in January from 59.3 in the month of December 2017. An independent survey of the same index, which is called the PMI by FBN Quest, showing Nigeria's headline stumbled significantly on this particular independent survey because the basket is much smaller, to 54.6 reading against 68.7 in reading in the month of December of 2017. According to FBN Quest, 4 of the 5 sub-indices measured every month were in positive territory, the highest for delivery times, but the lowest for the workforce on new hiring by companies. This survey asked questions from purchasing managers and factory managers in big and small companies. What's their outlook on the state of manufacturing, on output, on employment, on new orders, on delivery times from suppliers, and stocks of purchases? That's what FBN Quest measures in its own basket. Now that is showing Nigeria's headline stumbling to 54.6 in the new year because of a short-lived boost in seasonal demand and a trickle-down effect into the month of January. The report says typically Nigeria through to March have come to be perceived as relatively slow months with regards to naira liquidity and subdued consumer confidence. That's the report we gathered in here for you. Meantime, Nigeria is in a handshake with its northern neighbor, the largest country to the northern part of the country, Niger Republic, towards building a refinery in a border town between the Republic of Niger and Katsina State. Nigeria's junior oil minister, Dr. Ebe Kachiko, says a crude oil pipeline would also be constructed from Niger to the new refinery. If that happens, that will be the second refinery in northern part of Nigeria. The first, as you already know, is in Kaduna State, in Kaduna in particular, where Nigeria currently flows oil from the Niger Delta to that facility hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away. But the Kaduna refinery has been a drain pipe on the Nigerian government, and in particular the purse of the State Oil Corporation, the NNPC. Dr. Kachiko tweeted overnight that a bilateral and technical agreement in between Nigeria and Niger for the latest deal will be signed in coming days. We're putting our eyes out on that. Of course, Niger and Nigeria share strategic relationships in terms of the war against Boko Haram terror. Nigeria also has strategic and long-standing trade and cultural relationship with all the states in Nigeria bordering the Niger Republic. The country started oil production in 2011 with a much smaller production and even reserves compared to Nigeria. Nigeria is still Africa's #1 oil producer, followed by Angola and a few other countries like Ghana. Of course, there are allegations that Niger is the destination for a majority of Nigeria's petrol products being smuggled out of this country because of imports that are coming through Lagos and some of the refined products going through Kaduna as well. Meantime, Bloomberg is reporting this morning Nigeria's corn output for 2017-2018 season may decline some 7%. That's about roughly 750,000 metric tons. And that was according to the president of the Maize Producers Association of Nigeria. According to Bloomberg, he told the Newswire on the phone that we have a 2-year-old armyworm that is attacking corn farms and discouraging farmers from producing more, while the country is importing corn more than before. Nigeria may produce 10 million metric tons of corn in the current season if those pests remain on the farms. Nigeria is Africa's second largest corn producer after South Africa, but our corn import is is up 33% in the last season. That was 2016 and 2017, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And I'm going straight to the market on this, and we'll get a few perspectives later. But the fixed income is where the big news really is today. But of course, the stock market was down. I was hoping we'll cross to the 45, but we lost that by 0.34% to the stock exchange. We did $21.5 million yesterday. That's about 7.76 billion naira. In equity cap, we're still looking to get our 16 trillion naira back. We're down at 15.895 trillion naira. In terms of volume, we're about 200 million in volume terms, lower than the market on Tuesday. This is your midweek report you're looking at there in summary. And then you have the deals also down almost about 1,000 transactions compared to Tuesdays. Take that away. Let's go to the sectors. Who are the main drivers in terms of volume and transactors in that sector? Your GT, Zenith Bank, and Access. Trading between them something close to 9 million, about almost 10 million US dollars. If you add FB&H, about $941,000 in transactions yesterday. So the sector lost 0.2% because investors took a bit of profit. A booking profit also in the consumer goods space, despite $5.6 million transaction in Nigerian breweries, the sector was down 1.1%. Sorry, that should be in red. I beg your pardon. The industrial goods, however, made the plus. That's 1.87%. The insurance, of course, were much in the red than their cousins, the banks, 0.34%. Oil and gas was a positive 0.33%. So that takes us to where you're looking at next, which is the oil stocks. And that was because 40 Oil made a strong showing. Well, a little bit. Well, because of its market cap, 1.9% gain to 50.95. The integrated energy trader, we had less than a million. That's about 827,000 shares of that. The rest were largely muted on the day, Wednesday to be precise, midweek. But Eternal Oil is making a comeback. So if you flip that, you'll see 1.194 million ordinary shares traded in Eternal Oil at 5.95, up nearly 5%, 4.94 in specific numbers. And the rest were largely also lackluster. Global Specs, Japan Maritime, Capital Oil, and RAC Unity. But while the stock exchange had a negative Wednesday, the NESD over-the-counter rose, and that's practically roaring, 3.4%. That's massive. Look at where the USI is, what you call the unlisted securities index. That's a massive jump to 630.17, and the market cap much bigger, 426.4.